96% of coaches fail. Let's talk about why that is.
So today we're going to talk about the 10 rules of becoming successful. We actually put them all together into our 10 commandments that we work with and work by. But I also think they're really interesting to take a look at, because I think some people would actually feel overwhelmed. Some will feel confused. I also think some people will actually be an eye-opener that they're probably not following all 10 commandments. And this is why they are currently struggling in their business.
Yeah. And so we've created this with the experience of working with more than 800 coaches intensively and help them to really launch their businesses while observing the marketplace, making sure that we understand what's going on out there. Because obviously the statistics for someone who works with coaches or for someone who works with businesses, we change that statistic because there are also stuff that the 4% do that makes them successful. So the 10 commandments, if we can make sure to follow these, then we become one of the 4% rather than one of the 96, correct? Yeah, that's where we're coming from. Nice.
100%. So I think we're addressing the coaches who really want to have a scaling business. That would mean that the people who want to probably not just be able to pay their bills and have 1-2 clients here and there, but those people who actually want to have a business that can support a lifestyle with freedom and opportunities.
Yeah, and to start with, just being in one of the 4%, if we're talking about the lowest tier of those 4%, is being able to take a salary and not have a job on the side, being able to provide for yourself. And then when we can do that, we talk about, okay, so what lifestyle do I want to create? Absolutely.
Great. Let's take the first one. I have the list here, so I'll go through them and let's have a chat. So the first one, thou shalt get paid. You should charge for coaching. And it's really weird that we need to say that, but we met a lot of people who are struggling to be charged and who are setting up payment plans that are ridiculously long and with ridiculously low payments.
Yeah, but it's also the foundation. Like when we are speaking to our coaches and when we're helping them out, if we don't have the focus on the right things, we're definitely going to focus on the wrong things. And like one of the things that we have in common as coaches is that we like helping people. Yeah. And we get so conditioned in helping people, so we kind of forget the business foundation of it. Yeah. And thou shalt get paid, just bringing the focus to, we need to make sure that we're both charging and we're charging fairly and we're doing it continuously or consistently so that we make money every month. Yeah. Because if we're not making money every month, then we're going to struggle.
And I also believe it's a lot about, like, we get into the point of, oh, I need that client, and I need that client to an extent that I'm willing to suffer myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to sell this ultra cheap, or I'm going to do a payment plan over 4 million months, and then we're going to live to the end of universe's existence.
Yeah. So let's go to number 2. Thou shalt plan and structure for success.
So first we need to go to the foundations of planning or structure. So structure is the difference between hard and easy. Yeah. And we need to acknowledge that everything is a structure for something. Like many people who are not doing anything to create a structure, they subconsciously create a structure for anxiety. We allow our house to fall apart and all of a sudden we live within our own shit and we get anxious, and then we build that identity with like, I'm an anxious person, or I'm depressed, or I'm blah blah blah. Everything is a structure for something. So we need to create a structure for well-being. We need to create a structure for our work. We need to make sure that we have an office station. We need to make sure that we have updated our technology so that we can do what we do with ease and not have a problem, not need to wait on our computer to start for 15 minutes before we can get to work. We need to build a structure. And when we have the structure that helps us to do our work and to execute, then comes the next thing. We need to plan. And we have episodes in this podcast when we're talking about planning your year, planning your weeks, making sure that we're effectively having a plan and a goal of what is it that I'm going to do right now in order to take my next couple of steps in my coaching business. And when we're doing that, we need to realize that if I don't know what will move my business forward the most this week, or preferably even today, then we don't have the structure that helps us to get success.
No. If we don't have a clear plan for our marketing, we're probably just like throwing spaghetti on the wall, hoping that we'll get some clients. And this is like just taking charge of the business. And if we're not taking charge of the business, well, no one else will do it. No. We won't have the business. At least we won't have the business that will give us what we want. Let's go to the next one. Thou shalt create faster results. I think that's interesting because I believe this would divide the audience a little bit, because there'll be a lot of people who immediately get stuck into the limiting belief of, yeah, but you shouldn't be pushing yourself or pressuring anything through. You need to have the work-life balance. As well as we have the other group of people saying, yeah, of course you should I want fast results. And so I think this one divides a little bit. What does it actually mean? It means that if you want to become successful, you should not be okay with things taking a long time. You should not be okay with not moving the needle, like just accepting where we're at. It's not a success mindset. I would say it's okay. Of course, I'm not here to judge anyone by doing it, but maybe I should just acknowledge, what is it I really want? Do I want to become successful, or do I want to play really safe? Do I want to feel secure and safe and all of that? Because it's not about burning out. Like, wanting results faster is not equal I want to burn out. It means that you have a hunger, drive that wants to move the business forward, and not having it like going at a standstill or two slow steps. Yeah. Because if you're not looking to drive your business forward, you're never going to get momentum. It will just like working too slow, the machinery. So you'll never get to that momentum where everything will shift for you.
Yeah, and that boils it down to, it's not about pushing it, or I usually say we're not here to force basketballs through garden hoses. And to me, that's a good analogy, because no one sits in there like, okay, I'm going to push myself and I hope I don't burn out. It's rather going to be that they're going to sit with a problem or a behavioral trait that is consistent, that they need to acknowledge. So what that means is that if we are perfectionists, then we need to be aware of that I'm putting too much time into every detail, and I need to take a step back, because if something is going to burn you out, it's that. Because it doesn't need to be perfect. We're looking for 85%, and that takes 15% of the time to create. If you're going for 100% of the time, we're literally going to work 6 times longer in order to achieve that. So perfectionism, dangerous.
Yeah.
Another thing is shiny objects. We're consistently changing strategy, running for something else. Yeah. Thou shalt get fast results. And I just need to acknowledge thou shalt. Like, let's play with it. It's nothing religious or anything else but that. But it's just like putting some emphasis to, like, this is a commandment. This is something important. And we need to follow it. Thou shalt get fast results is all about making sure that we are focusing on the right things. And it comes with plan and structure. And it comes with making sure that we grow into a person that works effectively so that we can have that work-life balance. Exactly. And sometimes in order to obtain balance, we need to be out of balance. So we need to grow with figuring out, how do I become a person that can do this? Yeah. And 5-second share. 5 years ago or 10 years ago is probably more accurate. I wasn't anywhere close to as efficient as I am today, because I was a perfectionist, because I was kind of running around looking for shiny objects and shortcuts. Yeah. So it's not that, okay, I'm doomed to fail. It's, you're not, but you're doomed to not succeed until you grow. Yeah. So fast results isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, doing the right things.
Becoming efficient as an owner. I love that you take that in, because like the more time we put in, the more time we have to procrastinate, the more time we have to have the perfectionist being in the way. We need to work against that. Thou shalt make an impact.
I bet all coaches that I haven't met yet loves this as much as all coaches who have met already. Yeah. Thou shalt make an impact. We need to realize that we are taking it upon ourselves to make an impact within the niche or within the marketplace where we have decided. And it comes with a responsibility. So we need to remind ourselves that, hey, I am here to create an impact. I'm actually here to do something big. I'm here on a mission. I'm not here just because I didn't have anything else to do today. And reminding ourselves that we're here to make an impact. And making an impact is working for that impact. And allowing our mission to be fueled and our purpose through that be fueled as well, so that we can have passion in what we're doing. Yeah. And sometimes that's going to be very, very clear and easy. And sometimes we need to remind ourselves and get ourselves back to that point.
I think it's interesting because impact, what does that actually mean? Because it's both an horizontal, like how many different people I will make an impact to, but it's also like the depth of it.
An extent to like
Yeah,
how much
impact will I make to that individual?
to every single person.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one because I believe like a big part of becoming successful is having a drive looking for impacting more people on a deeper level. My ambition should not be like help 2 people.
I'm getting inspired by this because just as I don't want to help 2 people create major impact, I don't want to give a hug to 4 million people either.
No.
I want to make a huge impact to everyone who comes across, and that is a creation.
Yeah.
So that is what we need to create.
Yeah.
Super good. If we would graph this out, like I'm going to do that for our next boot camp, to graph out impact horizontally and the depth of the impact that we can create.
Yeah.
Super inspired.
I think, we can have a complete episode just about that. Thou shalt use strategies that work for your level.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. We just came out of a 3-day event with our clients. So we were about 65 people who spent the weekend together working on our business, making sure that we're doing the right things, connecting to our mission and all of that, and making sure that we serve people. And when it comes to one of the observations that we have made that is part of why our clients are successful is because what we teach is what works on their level. Because the stuff that we do today, we run ads, we have a team, we have people like reaching out to building our brand together with us. That is something that we're capable of because we're like 15 years into the coaching journey, but 5 years in this business specifically. And if we were to teach that to our clients, it would kill them in a week.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we are doing what's working with the level of income that I'm getting, with the level of experience that I have.
Yeah.
Because most coaches help people like, you run ads and you run ads to a book a call page, or if not a book a call page, it's a VSL. It's a video where they kind of pitch something, or it's an event that is automated or anything like that. And the problem for a new coach is that's never going to work.
Yeah. So what is important is that most business coaches teach what they're currently doing. Yeah. Which means that they should be teaching people who are about on the same stage or level as they are, maybe one level less. But the problem is that if you have startup coaches copying someone who's way ahead, there's no way in hell it will work for them. And also the other way, if you have a coach teaching on a too low level for where you're at, you have no progress at all.
So important.
So we need to recognize it. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just the level I'm at, and do the right things. That is how we get to the next level. It means like looking at what's the level I'm at. How much do I know about my audience? How big is my team? Is it a one person show? Or is it like a full team? What is the hands I have? What is the resources? How much money do I have on my bank account? What resources do I have available? And what is my skill set? What do I actually know? What can I actually do with the skill sets that is in my complete organization? So all of that is like setting you to a level you're at. And in order for you to get to the next level, you need to have the next level strategies that will get you to that level. But you can't do strategies that is like 10 levels above. You can't do strategies below because you'll be stuck. Yeah.
And I would also like to say that you're one of the best people that I know to kind of break that out and figure out, so what are we going to do on a strategic level to make sure that the stuff, the action items and the tactics that you're doing is going to work for you. So super, super good.
Really great. And thank you. Thou shalt understand your numbers.
Yeah. So important, and also always forgotten.
Yeah.
Because again, coaches like helping people. And the biggest limiting belief that I hear is that I don't know numbers. I don't understand numbers. Every time someone says numbers, I get confused. And what we need to understand is that numbers is the language of business. Yeah. And Keith Cunningham said this to me in an event like long ago. Like if you don't realize that number is the language of business, you're not going to be able to speak business, and you're not going to be able to read your business. Because knowing your numbers is like all the data. Yeah. Everything that you can learn is from the numbers that you're producing. So let's say 100 people raises their hand and says kind of like, hey, Sani, I'm interested in what you're doing. And then you're building relationships with these 100 people. You're getting close to them. And on the other side, you get 5 clients. It didn't just magically happen.
No, it's not, I got 5 clients.
No, exactly. There are so many things that have happened.
Yeah.
So how did they show interest? How many did show interest? What were the next step? And when I gave my first offer of maybe a free training or maybe of something that could have them and give them an insight of what it is that we're doing or what you're doing. And then we would need to figure out how many did we send that to? And then the next step would be, what were their response rates? And then how many did book the call? Because out of 100 people, maybe just 7 booked the call, and then you got 5 clients. Then we need to understand, okay, so the people who booked the call but they didn't buy, we need to be able to read through that as well. So we're talking about KPIs. And that's on the marketing part of it. But then there is on the business part of it, we need to be able to understand that first comes sales. We need to focus on sales. And when we have sales going, we need to focus on revenue. When we have revenue going, we need to focus on cash collected. When we have cash collected, we need to focus on profit. When we have profit, we need to focus on wealth. So how do we create that step by step? And what does it feel like in every level? And how can I break that out so that I always have like a perfect understanding of it? We do have episodes in our podcast where we talk about breaking down numbers and stuff. So
I actually had a chat last week with a former client just to check in and say, hey, how's it going? Oh, it's going so great. Oh, amazing. So what does that mean? Like, what's your next level? Well, I want to get to this level. Great. So I had a very clear, this is the level I want to get to. Great. So what's the problem right now to get that? What's your biggest concern? Like, where's your focus? Well, I think it's sales. Okay, great. So if it's sales, for me, that means that you're getting the leads and it means that you are getting sales calls, but you're not converting. So great. So how many sales calls did you book last week? And what's your conversion rate? Well, I didn't. So it wasn't about sales. It was literally about something completely different. And then she said, well, I don't really know because I don't track my numbers. See, the problem is if we do not track the right numbers, we are looking to fix our business in the wrong place. I mean, never fix the right thing. Thou shalt scale. I think it's kind of connecting to some of the other ones. I know some people say no, but I'm not here for scaling. I'm not here for money. Maybe this is not the right audience for us then. But I believe that if you want to become successful, you need to have a scale mindset because it's about growth. It's about having a need to grow, reaching the next level. For me, that's about curiosity. Like, what is the next level like? Like, what scaling is about improving, making more, making greater, making better.
Yeah, thou shalt make a bigger impact. It's the same. So thou shalt make a bigger impact. Let's say that is this perspective, and thou shalt scale, it's this perspective. We're just looking at it from 2 different perspectives. When we're looking at scaling, now the definition of scaling is, number 1, that we're either getting the same result with less effort, or that we're putting in the same effort, getting a bigger result. And everything that isn't that is growth. And what it really boils down to is building simplicity, because we need simplicity in order for us to be able to control the narratives and the numbers and all of it. So even if you want a business that is doing, let's say, 150 to 200,000 euros a year, then you still need to scale. You still need to make it profitable in a way so that it's simple, because otherwise you're going to spend your resources in an ineffective way. And if you don't want to burn out, then guess what? You need to scale.
Love that. How shall become 1% better than yesterday?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And that's like one of my favorites. 1% better than yesterday. It's like it's what our business academy says. 1% better than yesterday. It's all you need. Because the compounding effect of 1% better than yesterday is going to make you amazing. And it's also shining a light on you don't need more. You always need to become 1% better. 1% better at coaching, 1% better at selling, 1% better at marketing, doing content, reaching out, building relationships, being visible.
1% better is all it takes. Thou shalt make it fun.
I've never heard it from anyone else when I started, but it's what I've said since day one. I remember my first challenge that I did with my first people, my first clients that bought my coaching. If you're going to build a business, you need to make it fun, because if it isn't fun, you are not going to do it.
Exactly.
And it's not going to become fun by itself. We need to create that. So we need to find different ways of playing with it. That's why thou shalt. I mean, it's playing with it. It's having fun with it.
And it's make it fun. So it's about being cause instead of being effect. It's not fun. It's boring. It's up to you to decide, and then make it fun.
How are you going through all the other stuff in your life that aren't fun? Doing the dishes, vacuuming. I mean, put some headphones on, dance a little bit, like sing something. You have your different kind of gateways into making it fun. Make it fun.
Exactly. Last one. Thou shalt give massive value in public, sell in private. And I know we could do this in a complete one podcast episode. But it's about not being spammy. It's about not doing silly stuff. It's about being able to attract people by value.
Yeah.
And understand the selling process is not something that should go on in your content. It's not something that goes on the top of funnel. Sales is a private thing between you and the person and the business. So that becomes a very private, individual journey that we're not doing in public in our content, because your content will be
Yeah, people will move away from you if everything is a pitch fest. No one wants to do that. No one buys coaching for the sake of having a friend or someone to talk to. Someone buys coaching for a reason. They want to achieve something. They want a result. So we need to come from that perspective. And in order for someone to buy anything from anyone ever, is that we need to understand the principle that every sale that happens is based on a relationship. So we need to build relationships. And if we're selling to people without a relationship, they're going to feel like you have no idea who I am. Even if it's the perfect fit, even if I really want that, people doesn't like being sold to. People love buying. So if we can be really great at building relationships, then we can sell as much as we want. And it's really, really important to really understand and realize that selling in private means that we need to build a private. If we have a Facebook group that's somewhat private, we can be a little more intimate, but not all flat out like, hey, buy my thing. But we can talk about the subject on a deeper level. But if we are in our public social media, then we're going to push our audience away. Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. I think we're good. 10 rules that will make you successful. I'm curious. Comment below, which one did you like, or which one did you need to hear right now?
And which one stands out to you, and which one confuses you? Which one would you like to know more about? These 10 steps are the reason to why we have become successful the way we have, and also our clients. So let us know. And
follow, subscribe on this to get the next episode, and make sure you follow us on our Instagram. You'll get the link down below.
A new episode every Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Take care, coaches. Bye.